Hello everyone, welcome you all on your channel Ravneet Study Corner. So as you all know that we are doing physics on this channel, and today in this particular video I'm going to talk about a topic, and the name of the topic is CPT theorem, or can say CPT conjugate theorem. And this is a topic which is also involved in the syllabus of lecturer cadre physics, and we've also seen few questions from this topic in previous question papers. So let's start with our today's topic. So what actually CPT theorem is? So CPT theorem was first introduced, or can say appeared in 1951 by Schrödinger, and the word, or can say abbreviation for which CPT stands for is charge, C for charge, P for parity, and T for time. Okay, so it is based on an assumption. So CPT theorem is based on an assumption. So what is this assumption is? It states that anti-Hamiltonian, which is invariant under proper Lorentz transformation. We are already familiar with Lorentz transformations. So it says anti-Hamiltonian, which is invariant under proper Lorentz transformation, is also invariant under combined operation of C, P and T. मीन्स ऑल्सो इनवेरियंट, जो हमारा एंटी हेमिल्टोनियन है, जो इनवेरियंट है अंडर प्रॉपर लॉरेंस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, इज ऑल्सो इनवेरियंट अंडर कंबाइंड ऑपरेशन ऑफ CPT. CPT here stands for charge, parity and time, even if it is not individually invariant under C, P and T. मीन्स CPT के अंडर अगर इंडिविजुअली और कैन से सेपरेटली भी इनवेरिएंट नहीं है. सो हेयर यू कैन सी फर्स्ट टॉपिक दैट आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट इज चार्ज कंजुगेशन. So what it means? So if the process of exchanging particle to antiparticle, or vice versa, you can say changing particle to antiparticle or antiparticle to particle. Let us suppose if in a equation we have, let us take an example of electron, and if under charge conjugation electron varies to positron, even though the equation, or can say reaction or interaction, not change. So this is actually the basic concept of charge conjugation. So one thing that I'm going to discuss here, approximate conserved quantities. We have already talked about isospin, third component of isospin, hypercharge and strangeness. So these three are the approximate conserved quantities, and another three quantities that are approximate conserved quantity is C, P and T. So these six are approximate conserved quantities. Third component of isospin, hypercharge, strangeness, charge, parity and time. So if क्वेश्चन कभी आ जाए कि व्हाट आर द विच अमंग द फॉलोइंग इज अप्रॉक्सीमेट कंजर्व क्वांटिटी, और ये आ जाए कि विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट अप्रॉक्सीमेट कंजर्व क्वांटिटी, तो you can differentiate between approximate conserved quantities और conserved quantities. So approximate conserved quantities वो quantities होती हैं जो किसी equation में या किसी interaction में, किसी transition में vary हो भी सकती हैं और नहीं भी. So it may vary or not. So वो जो quantities होते हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं approximate conserved quantities. So charge parity can be calculated using this relation, C equals to -1 raised to power L plus S. So here L is angular momentum and S is spin. So charge conjugation is multiplicative in nature. How it is multiplicative in nature, we will discuss it later. So the case study charge conjugation is this: C operating on a state P. So C operating on a state P. So as you can see, P is a quantum number and C is our operation, which is charge conjugation operation, and it is operating on P, and now it is converted into its anti-particle. Okay, so consider a particle represented by ket state n, where n stands for additive quantum number, B, Q, baryon number, charge, strangeness, lepton number, and there are many more. So after charge conjugation operation, here what we can see, the sign of the our additive quantum number change. So for C, actually what happens, inverse the sign of additive quantum number. So additive quantum number का sign जो है वो change हो जाता है, लेकिन जो हमने ऊपर बात करी है can say angular momentum और spin, वो unchanged रहते हैं. Okay, so if you can see here, I've drawn 3 diagrams which is explaining the concept of charge conjugation. So C operator can be depicted as, so this is a state in which charge conjugation is applied. So after applying charge conjugation once, charge is interchanged, where there is plus and there is negative, and there is negative and there is plus. So after applying charge conjugation twice, we regain the original position, we regain the original state as I've written here. There is plus and there is also plus, and there is negative and there is also negative sign. So जो state है वो regain कर लिया उसने. और जैसे हम कहते हैं, जैसे हम कहते हैं कि अगर कोई पर्टिकुलर स्टेट है या पर्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्ट है वो अपनी सिमेट्री रिगेन कर लेता है आफ्टर रोटेटिंग बाय डेफिनेट और पर्टिकुलर एंगल, उसी तरह जो हमारा ऑपरेटर है C इज अप्लाइड ट्वाइस, द ओरिजिनल स्टेट C इज रिगेन्ड. सो C स्क्वायर इज +1, दैट इज C हैज़ आइगन वैल्यू. तो आइगन वैल्यू कौन कौन सी है इसकी? +1 और -1. These are unitary and Hermitian operator. Okay, so if we'll take an example of charge conjugation, so here you can see pi positive is converting into mu positive and mu neutrino, and here after applying charge conjugation, we have applied charge conjugation here once, and the charge of the particles get changed. So here pi positive to pi negative, mu positive to mu negative, and mu neutrino to its antiparticle. So if you will see the overall, or can say general equation, so it is the general equation where after applying charge conjugation, charge is converting into its antiparticle, or can say anticharge. So charge conjugation C commutes with Hamiltonian. So we represent Hamiltonian H with H and charge conjugation with C. So these are commute and we represent it by closed braces, and it is equals to 0. So this is all for charge conjugation. The next topic here that I'm going to talk about is time reversal. So the probability of reaction remains same on applying the time reversal. It means their time reversal exists. So अगर जब time reversal की property हम apply कर देते हैं, means t को हम -t में अगर convert कर देते हैं, तो जो probability है reaction की वो same रहने की probability है, तो वो क्या कहेंगे कि time reversal जो है exist कर रहा है. So let us take an example. So we have taken an example of pair annihilation and pair production. So we all know when electron and positron annihilate, they produce 2 gamma particles, and similarly on applying time reversal, when 2 gamma particles combine, they produce pair of electron and positron. Okay, so this is the general equation which we can use for represent time reversal t, and we are changing t to -t. This is general equation, as I've told you here that this is the general equation of charge conjugation. Okay, so this is the important point that I'm going to talk about now. Physical quantities that remain unchanged, or can say invariant under time reversal. So there are few quantities that remain invariant under time reversal. These quantities are displacement, acceleration, electric field. These are the 3 quantities that remain invariant under time reversal. So question can be asked on this, like what are the quantities that remain invariant under time reversal, or the quantities that vary under time reversal? Which of the following, आपको कुछ मतलब क्वांटिटीज़ दे देंगे, आपको बोलेंगे कि इनमें से कौन सी क्वांटिटीज़ वेरी करती हैं, कौन सी वेरी नहीं करती हैं. सो क्वेश्चन कैन बी आस्क्ड इन दिस मैनर, सो यू मस्ट रिमेंबर दीज एज वेल. ओके, सो द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज parity. Next point that I'm going to talk about here is parity. So parity, we all know what actually parity is. So parity gives us a reflection of coordinate. We have already talked about this in nuclear physics first chapter, or can say first lecture of nuclear physics, basic properties. So we have already talked about parity there. So what actually parity is? So if we'll see wave function xi, its coordinates are given here x, y, z, and if we'll change the sign of coordinates like x to -x, y to -y, and z to -z, and if that negative sign appears outside of the wave function, we'll say it is odd parity, and if that negative sign absorbs inside the wave function, then we can say this is even parity wave function. Okay, this is basic definition. We have already talked about it in our previous lectures, okay, of nuclear physics. So parity is also multiplicative in nature, and parity also commutes with Hamiltonian. These are the 2 approximate conserved quantities, C and P, charge and parity, which are multiplicative in nature as well as commute with Hamiltonian. As you can see, it commutes with Hamiltonian as well, and these are both are multiplicative in nature as well. So parity can be calculated by using this relation, where minus 1 raised to power L, where L is angular momentum. So there are also few quantities which remain invariant under parity conjugation or which vary under parity conjugation. These can also be asked in exam. So कैसे आएगा एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन, वही उसी तरीके से कि which of the following quantities or which of the following quantities or which of the following terms vary under parity conjugation or which remain invariant under parity conjugation. So displacement, linear momentum and electric field, these are the terms that vary under parity conjugation, whereas magnetic field and angular momentum remain invariant under parity conjugation. So if you remember, these are the terms: magnetic field and momentum vary here, whereas displacement, linear momentum and electric field vary here. So you have to remember which quantity is varying with parity conjugation and which quantity is varying with time reversal. Okay, so displacement, linear momentum and electric field vary with parity, whereas magnetic field and momentum both linear as well as angular vary under time reversal. So these are the few points that you have to remember. Okay, so which quantity is varying under which transition, this is you have to remember, or can say the basic properties, or can say basic definition, or how these conjugations are applying on different equations like parity, and parity is multiplicative in nature, which commutes with Hamiltonian. These are the terms that you have to remember, and how parity can be calculated using this relation, how charge conjugation can be calculated using this relation. So these are the terms that you have to remember. So this is the surface information about CPT theorem and what we are concluding from this CPT theorem. So violation of CPT theorem automatically indicates the Lorentz violation. So we are familiar with Lorentz transformations. So अगर CPT थ्योरम वायलेट कर रही है तो लॉरेंस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस भी वायलेट करेंगी. So next point is it shows how particles with integral spin satisfies Bose-Einstein statistics, whereas half integral spin obey Fermi-Dirac statistics. Okay, by CPT theorem, particles and antiparticles have identical masses and lifetime. So particles जो हैं उनका lifetime and masses are identical. This can be proved using CPT theorem. So CPT theorem leads to the conclusion that all integral quantum number of antiparticles are opposite to those of particles. So जो integral quantum numbers हैं antiparticles के वो opposite हैं to those of पार्टिकल्स. जैसे मैं बात कर लूँ अब चार्ज की. सो चार्ज जो है लेट अस सपोज इलेक्ट्रॉन का अगर मैं बात करूँ चार्ज, तो वो चार्ज इलेक्ट्रॉन का इंटेग्रल है, इंटेग्रल क्वांटम नंबर है फॉर श्योर. तो जैसे अगर मैं -1 की बात कर लूँ इंटेग्रल है और इट इज़ ऑपोजिट टू दैट ऑफ द पार्टिकल. पॉजिट्रॉन की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो इट इज़ ऑपोजिट टू दैट ऑफ पार्टिकल इलेक्ट्रॉन. तो वो ये ऐसे सारे मतलब कंक्लूजन्स हैं. तो दीज यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. दीज ऑल आर द कंक्लूजन्स ऑफ CPT थ्योरम एंड यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दीज एज वेल. एंड as you can see, this is all for CPT theorem. You have been asking me that ma'am upload notes, upload your notes as well, that it will facilitate you people. But the only thing that I wanna say here, that while I'm teaching, write down the notes or write down the points that I'm highlighting. It will be beneficial for you people to memorize these points if you write it by your own hand, and it will be easy for you to commemorate it later while giving exam. Because writing by your own hand is different thing and reading something ready made is different thing. So I hope you're getting my point. So this is all for today. That's all I want to say. And one thing more, that make sure that you like the video and share with your people and share with all the students who are preparing for master cadre or lecturer cadre, and do subscribe this channel, because this is the way I am able to connect with more people. And that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching.